Hello, welcome to my channel. This is Robin. Today I'm going to demonstrate for you how to create lavender, purple, lilac-ish smoky eye makeup. This is the look I've recently created for NARS internal challenge and I really love this look. So I was thinking maybe this is the right time for me to share about this makeup look. This makeup look will work for every skin tone, fair, medium to very dark. And this color family look fantastic on brown and green eyes. It'll really make your eyes look pop, something special, something different, just beautiful. So let's get started. First, I have my skincare on. I'm just going to directly move on to my makeups. And before I start my makeup, I'm going to apply a little bit of eyeshadow base. As always, I'm going to use this Laura Mercier Flawless Vision Ultra Long Wear Concealer. Just apply over the entire eyelid. Make the eyelid looks even. At this step, I'm not doing any concealing work. I'm just evening out the tone and make my eyelid more tacky, so the eyeshadow I'm going to apply later can stick better. And next, Laura Mercier Caviar Stick shade in Beam. I'm going to apply on my entire lid, including my eyebrow bone, and use your finger. Blend as you go. It'll really make the beautiful lilac purple-ish base for the eyeshadow I'm going to apply later. It's kind of creating the luminosity of lilac and purple across my lower eye. So you can totally lift and brighten my eye area. And just use your finger. And secondly, I'm going to use an eyeshadow. This is, however, discontinued eyeshadow palette. This is Perfection from NARS. And I've also used this Bobbi Brown eyeshadow palette, Crystal Drama, shade in here. This is Eggplant. If I'm not wrong, Eggplant shade is also one of their permanent line, so you can use Eggplant shade. And if I compare these two, Eggplant is definitely more lighter than this Pulp Fiction. So I'm going to use this Eggplant shade first. I'm going to use this Bobbi Brown eyeshadow brush. Starting from the center. Just like that. And you can totally blend this eyeshadow color towards your hollow of the eye. And you can keep layering it. You can start small and layer it and layer it and layer it. That's my technique. Layering instead of blending is my technique. And next I'm going to take a smaller brush like 6F from Shuemura and 219 from MAC. I'm going to use first this 6F brush, apply it just lightly on the outer corner of my eye, and bring it all the way in. So I'm smoking out my eyes right now. And also I'm kind of mapping it where I should apply this Eggplant eyeshadow and how far I should go, because you know we don't want to go too far. Just like that. And then I'm going to use a smudger brush. I'm going to use this MAC 219 to just smudge those edges out just a little bit. But I'm not smudging the inside of the eyeshadow. I'm just smudging the edges, the outlines. I want the intensity remains quite strong. And at this point of step, you can check symmetry, whether they are symmetry or not, before you make a move to the next level. And I think they are quite symmetry now. And next, I'm going to use this NARS Quad Eyeshadow shade in Perfection. I'm going to use this dark color here. I'm going to use the same brush, 6F from Shuemura. I'm going much smaller area of my eye, almost lining it. So it adds more intensity. And I'm working mostly on the outer corner of the eye. Then take a smaller brush, MAC 219. Just soften out those edges. And now, this is my favorite step. I'm going to use this Laura Mercier eyeshadow shade in probably a buttercream. This is the buttercream in the middle. I'm going to use Koyudo brush. I forgot its name and number. I'm just gonna blend and soften out those edges. So you can use this eyeshadow with a blending brush to further blend to nothing. So you can really create that soft, cloudy, smoky eye. And this luminosity of this Laura Mercier caviar stick is still picking out. Just so beautiful. It's like a lit from within. I'm just gonna touch up a little bit on my lower eye. However, after further blending by using this buttercream eyeshadow, the smoky look has become more refined. It's more soft and cloudy effect right now. It looks much more smoother. So this is the secret of the universe of how to create that soft, smooth, and hazy smoky eye look. And next I'm going to take this same eyeshadow palette, Pulp Fiction, this white color. It's not just white, it actually has a pink radiance, I would say. It has a little bit of pink reflection. I'm going to apply it all across my eye, just as a topper. It adds a little bit of mysterious feeling. Just beautiful. And lastly, I'm gonna go back to this caviar stick shade in Beam. I'm gonna highlight a little bit, pop some color out on the inner corner of the eye, just a little bit. And since this area is already tacky, I'm gonna apply one more layer of this white color here. Actually, it's a pink Beam purple lilac shimmer, actually. As you can see, it's beautiful. Gladly, I don't really have much fallouts. Just in case, I'm going to use this Vichy cleansing milk to just remove any fallout. For skin makeup, I'm going to start by applying this Tinted Glow Booster shade in Medium. And I will be mixing together with this Soft Matte Complete Foundation from NARS. This is shade in Santa Fe. In my honest opinion, I don't like this foundation. So now I'm applying this Tinted Glow Booster. This is just so stunning formula. It actually improves natural skin's radiance. It has a little bit of shimmer in it, so skin looks more radiant and glowy. Just refining the texture. And you can use your finger to just smooth and blend it out. And as you can see, this immediately creates this beautiful glow. It's almost glassy. And next I'm going to use a NARS Soft Matte Complete Foundation. I'm just going to push and knock this foundation into my skin, starting from the cheek, because it's the most thickest area of my face. And I'm slowly blending towards the center of my face, my nose, my T-zone, and my forehead. So the most layer is on my cheek and less layer on my nose and the least layer on my forehead. This is how you actually control the amount of product on the face. As the skin, the layer and the thickness is vary, such as the cheek area is more thicker than the forehead, because underneath the skin there's bone. The skin layer is super thin, but here on the cheek there's a fat underneath the skin. So you can apply more makeup product, more foundation, it still looks natural. But once you apply too much makeup product on your nose, your forehead, wherever the thin skins are, skin looks immediately so heavy. What I don't really like about this soft matte foundation is that this really makes the skin looks matte. I mean, at some point of time, the matte texture is really wonderful, but I like to create radiance and natural looking skin with a little bit of dewy or natural finish, not a totally matte finish like this one. If you have textures on the skin, it'll definitely maximize the textures you have. And if you have a dry skin, it'll maximize and make it look more obvious for your flakes. But if you just need a high coverage, just Instagram ready full coverage, then this is the foundation you wanna go for. However, this is not my favorite foundation. So foundation is done, and I'm gonna move on to a concealing job because I have some flaw here, some blemish right here, and some extra blemishes right there. So I'm going to conceal them by using my all-time favorite Soft Matte Complete Concealer from NARS. And also I'm going to use a little bit of Laura Mercier concealer. This is Secret Camouflage. I'm going to use Makeup Forever 6N brush to conceal my tiny flaws. What I like about this concealer is that it actually gives you a high and full coverage, and it reduces the texture. So I want to highlight this part. The soft matte foundation actually maximizes the texture, I personally feel. That is the part I don't like about this foundation. But this concealer just blurs everything. It blurs the texture, it blurs the imperfections. It is just the best concealer. And don't forget to conceal any extra redness around the nostril here, because it's just so horrible. Everything's perfectly even, but just the nostril is red. And next I'm going to use this Secret Camouflage. The color is much paler than my skin, so I'm going to use this concealer as a highlighting shade on my under eye area. So to perform this concealer perfectly on the under eye area as a brightener, you'll want to use the flat paddle brush like this one and go very gentle and light hand, and almost you're gliding the brush over the surface of the skin, just lightly brushing it. Relax the hand, just go very lightly. So whenever I use this kind of technique, I can easily send my clients to sleep. It's almost like pampering the skin. So the under eye area is now highlighted, and I'm gonna use a little bit on this area here, the T-zone, because I can see a little bit of redness, and then the rest I can just simply blend it away. And I'm gonna just clean out those edges of my lips, because the edges can be really pigmented. And if you have really severe discoloration around the lips, such as medium to medium deep and dark skins, they are prone to have more pigmentations around the lips. If that is the case, use a color corrector, then use concealer next. Make it even first, and then you can move on to this concealing work. And next, I'll be using this Innisfree Powder Compact with this MAC 150 brush. The product I used today for the skin is pretty matte product, so I'm not going to totally mattify my skin, but just lightly take away any unnecessary shines. Yet again, whenever I just lightly brush the skin like this on my client's face, I can easily send them to sleep. Okay, and next I'm going to use a little bit of a touch-up blush. I think I'll be using this Can Make Flare Glow Cheek. This is shade in 08. For this blush, I'm going to use this brush number 17 Pony from Shuemura. I'm just going to take a little bit of light colors and touch of this rich color in the middle on the side of the cheek. With this look, I'm going to apply very minimal blush, so the focus is still on the eyes. And next I'm going to go back to this large powder brush again. I'm now going to buff those edges. And next, for lips, I'm going to use this Makeup Forever Rouge Artist shade in 104, and then mix tiny amount of concealer. This is NARS Radiant Cream Concealer shade in Custard, because I really want the focus to be on my eyes, not on the lips. So this nude lipstick is actually pretty pale, pale brown, but I want it to be even more paler, so that's why I'm mixing together with a concealer to be looking even more paler, but almost a yellow, warm brown pale. And if you have this color already in your collection, then it'll be unnecessary to mix. So lipstick's on, and almost every makeup is done, and I'm gonna move on to the rest of my makeup, such as eyebrow and eyelines and mascara. And I'm going to use a little bit of eyeshadow, brown eyeshadow, with MAC 219 pencil brush. I'm just gonna pick one of those brown shade here. This is shade in Undressed. This is a limited edition shade, so you can use any brown color. And also eyebrow colors to remain as light as possible, not too dark, not too thick. And next, perhaps a groomer for the eyebrow. I'm just gonna brush my eyebrows. This is NARS eyebrow brush. And eyebrows remains natural, as thin as possible, not too thick, not too dark, just natural. So the focus is still on the eyes, very much on the eyes today. And I can do a little bit of bronzing and contouring. I recently got this dual contour blush from NARS, and I can utilize this contour blush to do a little bit of contouring for my face. I'm going to use this 144 brush from Makeup Forever. I can do a little bit on the inner eyebrow. I'm going to start lightly from the inner eyebrow. Bring it down to the nose. Start up my nose. Almost nothing on the brush. And tip of the brush. So when I look straight, you can see my nose contour, but when I turn my head to the side, you won't be able to see. You should be able to see my nose contour when I'm looking straight, but when I turn my head, you won't be able to see any. It's just totally invisible. And for eyeliner, I'm going to use this NARS Velvet Liner. This is shade in London. I'm not creating any wings, it's just filling in the gaps between my lashes. And half eyelash curler from MAC. And generous amount of NARS Climax mascara. And while I was applying while I was curling my lashes, a little bit of liner and shadow came off. Then I can go back to this Pulp Fiction eyeshadow palette with 6F Shu and Mura. I'm just gonna touch up a little bit. So this is final look of creating lavender, purple, and lilac color smoky eye look.